Directly after a hurricane or a flooding event, basically what we're looking to do is to make sure that the well itself didn't go underwater. If it did go underwater, or it's a suspicion of it going directly underwater, we never know totally how the well seal is reacting to it and whether or not it's allowing water to go through the seal. It can go through in different areas on the seal. And if it does do that, basically the well should be disinfected. And there is a set of guidelines. We stress that we would like to have either liquid pool chlorine or bleach used to disinfect it. And it's roughly about a quart to 100 foot. So when you're dealing with it, you're looking at trying to make sure that the well is disinfected. Let it sit overnight, about 6 hours at minimum, and then you'd go ahead and discharge it for about a half an hour. Run each one of the individual house lines 1 to 2 minutes. So you're actually disinfecting the actual individual water lines in the home. And this actually allows it to get through the system. You can take a liquid pool test kit, a simple kit you can pick up from any one of the hardware stores, and go ahead and test the water, make sure you don't have any chlorine residual left in it. If you do have residual, you still need to keep flushing. After you've done so, sampling the water through your local health department would be the next best thing to do. Bring it to us, we'll go ahead and run it, make sure that we are bacterial free in your water. The tests that we offer are basically bacterial and lead nitrate. And in the bacterial case, we're just making sure that the well itself is bacterial free, and that is often a slight fee. You'd come into the office, pick up a bottle, and then go ahead and take that bottle home. Run the well about 15 minutes. You'd fill it up above the line on the bottle, put it into an ice cooler and bring it on back to us the same day. It would be greatly appreciated. And then we'd run that off to our lab to have it tested. And we usually get results back within 2 to 3 days if it's bad. If it's good, then we'll get return results back in about 3 weeks. As far as lead and nitrate, the reason we take nitrate readings is we do want to worry about sudden infant death, and we worry about blue baby syndrome, and that basically is involved with nitrates. Once the nitrates are above 10, then at that point there, we want to make sure that the well is properly filtered. And we check that, and we make sure that the lead levels basically are under 0.015, and that basically makes sure that our lead levels are at proper level. And if they're under that, we can let them go. If they are not, then filtration would be needed as well. Testing of a well basically is annual, and the reason you would do it annually for bacteria is to make sure that the well itself hasn't picked up any bacterial periods. There are periods where under a 72-hour period or greater, basically the well itself can end up generating biomass, and the biomass itself will hold bacteria, not necessarily harmful, but still will be present. So at that time, you would have to disinfect the well. One way in particular is to go ahead and run it to a rolling boil for at least a minute. And what that does is disinfect the water. Once you get above 165, you're killing off most of the organisms that we have to worry about. But we want to get it to a rolling boil because that's a visualization. You could actually see it. So therefore, you know you've got a rolling boil, you know you have safe water. The other one is going ahead and adding anywhere from 6 to 8 drops of chlorine. And now that chlorine would be in liquid bleach, but it would be unscented. It would be nothing added to the bleach itself, no color-free or anything like that. We want to keep the bleach as simple as possible. And the reason we want to do that is basically we don't want any added chemicals, so we're just dealing with chlorine for disinfection, depending on the content of the chlorine that's in the bleach. Usually the lower end 6, it would be 6 drops. If the upper end 8, it would be 8 drops. When we're dealing with the filtration, you can go ahead and utilize filtration, but you do have to have it at 0.1 microns in order to make sure you're keeping all the organisms out, which is a very tight filter and a little bit more expensive. Most of our wells in this area are driven. So the wells that are driven are usually 4-inch wells. We do have some 2-inch wells on the eastern side of town, and they basically would have a pump above ground. So you'd have a pump in the ground for a 4-inch, which is called a submersible, and that would be in the well itself, and then you'd have a drop pipe come off the well, off the pump itself, up the well, and come out to a T. From there it would run into basically a check valve. It also would have a pressure relief valve, so the pipes, if they did get above 75 psi, wouldn't break. And then we would also have an AD pressure switch, so the well would know when to turn on and off. And we would also have a pressure gauge and a sample tap. Those are the key component parts. Also a bladder tank, basically, so the well doesn't keep on running. We're available here at Environmental Health, and we're here to solve your water problems that you may have dealing with wells, private wells, and basically come to our office or phone us and give us a call, and we'll be glad to answer any of your well questions that you may have.